It is an extremely common mistake. People think the writer's imagination is always at work, that he's constantly inventing an endless supply of incidents and episodes, that he simply dreams up his stories out of thin air. In point of fact, the opposite is true. Once the public knows you're a writer, they bring the characters and events to you. And as long as you maintain your ability to look and to carefully listen, these stories will continue to... Stop it! Stop it! Don't do it! Will continue to seek you out over your lifetime.
Okay, retro go. Let's go.
Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. This is Wait, You Haven't Seen. It's a show where we talk about movies, and specifically, we talk about a movie at least one of us has never seen before. I'm your host, Travis, aka TV Travis. This is episode number 324, and we are continuing my education of Wes Anderson films with my Wes Anderson parents, Amy Frost and Phil Keating, with the Grand Budapest Hotel. Amy, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm glad. I'm excited. We're going to talk about how we got to this particular choice of film when we
Excellent.
get into it. It's going to be
Yes,
good.
we will. And Phil, how are you doing?
Man, it's good to be back. If I was a better, more prepared podcaster, I would have a lovely, flowery poem to say right now, just in time for somebody to cut me off before I can get to the end of it.
Perfect. Perfect. So, The Grand Budapest Hotel, written and directed by Wes Anderson, starring a whole smorgasbord of people we will talk about from 2014. But, Amy, I want to know, how did you and Phil get to this is the next one that we needed to watch?
Okay, so I made a chart.
She made a chart.
I made a chart. I made an emotional devastation chart. And it rates all of the Wes Anderson films by their from 1 to 5 on their level of emotional devastation.
And as soon as I heard that she made this, I said, I need to see your goddamn chart. And so she sent it over to me. And at first glance, it was like, yeah, it's perfect. Yep. Nailed it. Everything is nailed. So that's why I was putting so much pressure on you to figure out on a 1 to 5, where are we going?
Mm-hmm.
Because knowing that inside chart knowledge, I was really excited. I was pushing really hard for one number.
Mhm.
I didn't get it, which is fine. I'll get it at some point. But as soon as Travis said number 3, I had my Amazon
4.
ordered and
4.
ready.
It was 4.
4.
This
That's
number
right. 4. So it was already in the mail because I knew where we were going, and I was very excited about all of it.
Yeah.
There's very few bad choices on the chart.
It's what I'm noticing so far with all of them that I have watched. But when I
We'll
said,
talk about it.
when you asked, okay, 1 to 5, what's the emotional devastation you're prepared for? I was like, you know what? I can take a bit, but I don't want to go too far. So 4. You're like, great, Grand Budapest Hotel. You didn't hesitate. It was just
No, I
great,
knew.
Grand Budapest Hotel. Here we go. So Phil, what's your history with this particular Wes Anderson movie?
Saw it in theaters. We have a small indieplex here in Gettysburg. Not a lot of things come here, but every Wes Anderson movie comes here. So me and my kid's mom, we rustled on down to the Majestic and sat down and had probably the most fun I've had in a Wes Anderson movie since The Life Aquatic, which is only a couple films, but like from start to finish, the aesthetic, the colors in this one, right?
Mhm.
Everything just grabbed me right in. And whenever you start a movie with Jude Law, like I'm already hooked. Like you got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm in. So, and then no joke, I haven't watched it again since I saw it in theaters in 2014. So
Wow.
it was wonderful to come back to it. I was waiting for the Criterion to come out, and when these Blu-rays come out, they don't Criterion right away. And then I stopped buying physical media. And so I had no reason to ever rebuy it or rewatch it. And so like I said, I was super excited to hit that buy now, give it to me right away so that I could sit down and watch it again.
Sure. Amy, what's your history with this one?
I'm gonna be real. I don't really remember. I mean, this is like certainly deeply into my I like everything Wes Anderson makes, so let me just do this. And as we know, as we've established, I don't enjoy going to the movie theaters, so I'm gonna assume I watched it at home. Um, but I this one for me, especially because of the prevalence of baking,
Hmm.
is a particular favorite. I mean, I can't pick a favorite, right? It's like trying to pick a favorite Ghibli movie. Like I have tops, but I
Yeah.
can't pick like a one. So this one is for sure up there for me. And I was saying like if someone came to me and said, "I want to watch a Wes Anderson movie," I think my first pick would probably be Royal Tenenbaums. But if somebody said, "I want to watch the most Wes Anderson movie," it might be this one.
Can can I just go out there with a very shitty, bold statement on myself? Uh, this is his magnum opus.
Mhm.
In
Okay.
my opinion,
Mhm.
every movie that he's made since Grand Budapest hasn't been able to hit the level of Grand Budapest for myself. Um, with the cast, with the storytelling, with all this, the writing in this movie, holy shit, the writing in this
Mhm.
movie.
Mhm.
So for me, this is his best piece of work. But like Amy said, it's not my favorite.
Mhm.
It's not. It's but it's very close to being in the top three.
Yeah. No,
So
I agree with you on that. I do think everything since then, like not that it hasn't been good, but
Correct.
it
Yeah.
hasn't been this.
No, I've enjoyed
Yeah,
uh,
a
the
lot of
French
it.
Dispatch. Yeah, I mean, but I enjoyed some of the stuff that he's put out since, but like this has such a
Mhm.
rich cast and a rich storytelling, and the writing is so beautiful and flowery and flows. Each one of the words that come out during these conversations between the characters in this is like watching two people paint next to each other, and it's
Mhm.
just, oh man, it's beautiful.
you're not wrong. Like, so as we know, I've only seen now, this is my fourth Wes Anderson film because I had seen Rushmore. I've now seen Life Aquatic, Royal Tenenbaums, and this. And of those four films, this is by far, I think, the most expertly crafted
Yeah.
of them. Like, there is everything I've watched with Wes Anderson, and every time I see people talk about him, they always talk about the meticulous nature of everything and the symmetrical framing and all that. And I kind of want to talk a bit about that. But all of those things, all of those Wes Anderson isms in this are like at their peak. But I wouldn't say of the four, it's my favorite. Like I probably, I kind of have to flip a coin between Royal Tenenbaums and Life Aquatic. Those
Sure.
two, I just loved both of them so much, and there's just something about them. But this is still on that same level. It was masterfully done.
This movie is
And
Boy with Apple.
It is Boy
yeah,
with Apple.
Yeah.
mhm. And just the cast, like it's 2 seconds into it, and I'm like, well, this is a Wes Anderson movie because like the very first shot of the woman walking up to the Lutz cemetery or whatever,
Okay,
I was
I
like, okay,
forgot how deep the framing is on this one. Like when I
right.
watched, Asteroid City also has a very deep framing, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, this is so weird." And then I'd forgotten how many layers deep we have to go to get to the actual story in this movie. It's so good.
Well, what I love about that is Wes Anderson movies that I have watched so far are intentionally showing the filmmaking in them, which I think is
Sure.
fascinating because there's a huge thing, and especially starting in the 70s and moving forward, there was a huge push of like naturalism in your movies and hide the filmmaking and hide there's stylization, but so much of it is about like representing the real world, even in outlandish things. Like you watch a Marvel movie or you watch a superhero movie or sci-fi, it's always done in a way to look like it's the real world, and then you're watching this thing within it. Whereas Wes Anderson goes in the completely opposite direction. He's like, I'm going to take very mundane, very normal things, and I'm just going to stylize the shit out of them and show you that I'm making a movie. And he's got like the compositions of all of his shots continue to blow my mind because they're very planar too. Like
Yeah.
everything has layers to it. There's a background, and then on top of that background are the subjects. And you can pick those two things apart. Like I can spot a Wes Anderson background in anything.
Well, there
very
is a
easily.
subreddit. Do you know the subreddit? There's
No?
a r/ oh geez, Wes Anderson. Oh geez, I wish I remember exactly what it is, but it's where you just post things. Oh, it might be r/Wes Anderson aesthetic,
Mhm.
Okay.
and it's just like people posting wallpapers at like a very close shot of like things that look like it could be from a Wes Anderson movie.
I mean, it was what? Not even. It was probably last year. The TikTok / Instagram trend
Oh,
of like, don't tell me you're gonna go whatever, like you're in a Wes Anderson movie.
oh my god, that was my whole For You page for a good 3 weeks. Was just like, and I built it brick by brick. It was
Yeah.
my For You page. I was happy.
Mhm.
And I'm so sad that that trend went away, but hopefully it comes back in, 5
It'll
years
swim
as the
back
internet does.
Right. It'll cycle back around. But
Yeah.
it's a thing that I love because like I really like filmmaking in general and storytelling. And what I like about the way Wes Anderson does it is he does it in a way, he's not the first one to do it. He's not the only person to do this, but he does it in such a way that is his own. And he's not afraid to be like, yes, this is a directed thing. This is meticulously crafted to look this particular way and
Mhm.
act this way. And then on top of that, you get these layers of story because we like you were saying, the framing of it. You've got a young woman goes to what it's like a cemetery.
The author's grave,
Great.
which I
Yeah.
went to college near Jack Kerouac's grave, which it like
Okay.
it immediately gives me that vibe, right? Because it's like the place where people go and leave,
Yeah.
all the time.
And then she has the author's book, and then we get the author talking. And I had no idea, like this cast, every person that showed up on screen just blew my mind again and again and again because I love Tom Wilkinson and like him as the author. And I'm thinking, oh, all right, Tom Wilkinson. Nope, that's it. He
That's
doesn't
it.
show up again till
We're
the end.
done now.
But then like we go from him to a flashback, and now we've got Jude Law and
Is
this
him
thing and
as young
yes,
him.
which it took me a little bit to figure that out. I just didn't like make that connection immediately. But this whole like this hotel in the 60s, right? And it's got a very
Mhm.
60s look to it.
Yeah.
And we meet Jason Schwartzman. I'm like, cool, Schwartzman's in this. He does Wes Anderson stuff. Yep. Just there he is. All right, he's gone. F. Murray Abraham as, Mr. Mustafa. And I'm just seeing these faces keep popping up. And then it goes into another layer of flashback. And it was about
Mhm.
5 to 8 minutes into this third flashback inception level that I noticed the aspect ratio changes
Yep.
of the filming. And when I first started the movie, it says, make sure this is being shown 16:9. I was like, that's quirky, but okay, cool. And then I realized, oh, the aspect ratio changes with the time period, which is brilliant. It's a brilliant way to keep things in order because it jumps around. So to do that, now I can much more easily as a viewer follow what the hell is going on.
It's the most Wes Anderson shit.
It really is. It really is.
He
Yeah.
would make you watch it on another television if he could.
Yeah.
It's true.
Please put
It's
this
very
on your
true.
black and white CRT. Thank you.
Yeah, and also I have a wax cylinder with the the audio on it,
The
if
audio.
you don't mind.
And it's really clever too because all the stuff in the 80s with the author is 1:8:5 which is the common aspect ratio of that. You go back to the 60s, it goes to widescreen, and then you go back to the 30s and it goes to 4:3. And on top of that, like because he's so meticulous in his framing and everything, now he's got these different palettes with which to build on.
Mhm.
Then you add in the colors, which is another layer of things that he's doing because as you go further back, the colors get more and more saturated and more insane. And I just everything about it, I just want to eat it all up. I could not get enough of all of that. Like we go back to the 30s and it's these bright garish colors and the purples and the blues and the reds and all of this, and I just absolutely adored everything. And then we get to Ralph Fiennes, who again This is just a laundry list of actors I love and everything. And this might be my favorite Ralph Fiennes.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it because,
Yep.
dude, I know how much you love Ralph Fiennes because you've talked about it almost every episode, even if Ralph Fiennes isn't in the movie that you're covering, right? So when you were like, we're doing Grand Budapest, I was like, oh, my guy is about to enjoy his favorite Ralph Fiennes movie, and I can't wait to talk. Dude, it took me like so long to not text you so that we can have this conversation face to face about it, man. He is on another level in this movie, right? And just his acting skills in this is just, oh my God. You would never believe that this is Voldemort, right? You would never believe it in a million years because his way of delivering the lines, but also his mannerisms and the way that he moves through each shot is so fluid, and every step is thought out before it's even made. You know, it's like watching a man play chess, but live in a movie, man. It's gorgeous.
There's acting where you are the character, but you're still like Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise as whatever character he is.
It's
right? Will
Smith
Smith does
Tom
that
Cruise
a lot.
as for sure.
But then there are the actors. And Daniel Day-Lewis, of course, is really known for this. But like Gary Oldman, Ralph Fiennes, they become this character, and they're always someone new. Like Ralph Fiennes. Before seeing this movie, my favorite Ralph Fiennes performance was in Bruges. I love him in Bruges because he's just goes for it, and he's just angry and vulgar, and it's hilarious. But like, it's so different from him as Voldemort. It's so different from him in Red Dragon. It's so different from him in Strange Days. But this one, he is Gustav in every single possible way, and they put the perfect costuming on him. The mustache is meticulous, and
I'm gonna be calling
just
people darling
exquisite.
for like weeks.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
And
Darling.
he just gets who this character is perfectly. And then I did read that he was Gustav was written with Ralph Fiennes in mind, and I get that. Like I can see that. But like, just he's absolutely pitch perfect, and everybody is. Like Adrian Brody shows up, and immediately I hate him because he's
so this
awful.
is one of the few Wes Anderson movies that has a real villain.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, you know,
two real
villains, but you know what I mean? Like I feel like for the most part, it's, you know, the family that you try to get along with, or, you know, your situation. So here's the thing about Adrian Brody. Adrian Brody has a very distinct look, right? Like we can agree. There's not really anybody that looks like Adrian Brody, except for the guy I dated when I was in college. And so every time I see him, like, I just can't. Like, I can't. Oh man, Adrian Brody.
Fuck you, Josh.
You hate him so much.
But
So
also,
good.
I do love that, like, everything, including the words, are like placed in this 1930s setting, except whatever Adrian Brody is about to say. Right?
True.
Yeah.
It's so early 2000s, and like, it's done on purpose, and he delivers it so well, but instantly you hate this piece of shit just by the way that he's the look on his face during the reading of the Will and Testament. You're just like, oh yeah, you're a spoiled dick.
Yep.
And your three beautiful sisters.
Oh, they're so good.
I loved all of that. Like, and then of course Joplin, Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is always a win.
He's so scary in this.
Oh my God,
So scary.
the lighting on him to make him look like a ghoul. He's looking like a ghoul the entire time.
And the whole time I just have to keep thinking, I always thought of you as my dad's. Like I'm like, no, it's sweet little Willem Dafoe. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. No, he's so scary.
But he's another one that can just chameleon. He's interesting because like Willem Dafoe is always Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. But what that
But
means
yet,
changes.
yes, it changes with whatever role he is. It's weird. It's this weird mixture of the two types of things. It's kind of like Goldblum. Goldblum is always Goldblum
Okay.
as whatever he's playing, and in
First of
this,
all, I hadn't
he's
seen his
fantastic.
IMDb picture in a hot second.
I love it. It's so
Really
good.
good. Jeff Goldblum as the lawyer with his cat
Did you just throw my cat out?
out
Did
the
he just throw
window?
my
Oh.
cat
out the
out the window?
Okay, but the best part is that then he has the coat check claim
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
for one Persian cat parentheses deceased.
Yes, that killed me. I could not I'm like, why would he have a coat check for that? It was so good.
Why did they check the cat?
Those glasses, by the way, I saw an interview with Jeff Goldblum where he talked about the glasses because he went in for costuming and all of that, and they were trying a bunch of stuff on.
Yeah.
And then he ended up at another store and was like trying on glasses and took pictures of them and sent them to Wes. And he had those exact ones that he wore for the movie. And Wes is like, perfect. Those are the ones. He's like, so I got to keep these. I bought them. They're my
Nice.
glasses now. And it's like, that's the most Jeff Goldblum thing.
Yeah, it
I've
really
ever seen.
is.
It's so perfect. But he, again, like we've seen him in other Wes Anderson things. He's just fantastic. And I was not, when this movie started, thinking that I was going to get an Alfred Hitchcock suspense chase
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was tense. That whole thing with Joplin chasing him through the museum, which is like straight out of, I can't remember the Hitchcock movie. It's like the Tear of the Cloth or something. It's one of his lesser known ones, but it's so good the whole time. Like everything about that is just perfect.
Okay,
and then
we
it
haven't
ends
talked about-
in a way that I did not expect at
We
all.
haven't talked about Zero even once.
We haven't
And I
yet.
feel
And I'm-
like that is an oversight.
we haven't.
I mean, we
haven't gotten to him
have.
yet because I wanted to save that because of everyone else that's in this, right? Like
That's fair.
Jude Law, Edward Norton showing up as Henkels for the brief time that he's in the movie. He has one of my favorite entrances because when they're getting accosted on the train and Gustav yells, leave my lobby boy alone or
Get
whatever.
your hands off my
Get your
lobby
hands
boy.
off-
Yes.
Yep.
And then we get the whip pan and just a face pop around a corner. Like I had to capture that and keep it forever because it was so great. And then it's just Edward Norton pops up with, again, a fantastic mustache. Yeah, like
The
Saoirse
mustache game
Ronan.
in this film is
Oh,
very
the mustache,
good.
top notch. Saoirse Ronan as
Yeah.
Agatha,
Yeah.
who I did learn had to or learned how to bake that pastry
Oh.
that she made.
Oh.
That was part of it for her. I thought that was great. I also liked her and everybody kind of with their own accents.
Mm-hmm.
There was two reasons I really like that. Number one, I love when movies do that in general because just let people speak with their natural accent. Unless
Yeah.
they can do a good version of the accent they're supposed to do, there's no reason not to. But it also adds to that layer of this is a story being told to somebody. And in this case, we're a couple of layers deep in story being told, right? We are
Right.
reading the book with the author telling us about when he heard it from another person who's telling us the story of what happened. So I have no problem
What
with
happened 30 years earlier?
yeah. And I think there was even a trivia thing where she asked, talking to Wes Anderson about the accent, and he's like, we got Rafe talking like an English person, and Jeff is speaking with like Jeff Goldblum, and Tony sounds like he's from Anaheim, so just use your own accent.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time she got to do her natural accent in a film, and it was great. It doesn't
Is
make any
there-
sense, but it doesn't matter.
But
Is
it's
there-
also go ahead.
Oh, no, please.
I mean, it's also part of the story, right? In
Mhm.
that, like, not those specific accents, but like, there's a line that when it happened, I was like, "Oh no!" And you may have even gotten it right, but it's the he's an immigrant. You can't just arrest him. He hasn't done anything wrong. And I was like,
Right.
"Oh no!"
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
Has
But
there
yeah,
been a movie that she has done that hasn't been wonderful?
I can't
Like,
think of one offhand.
Me neither. Like, me and my partner, like, before we even said we were doing this movie, we were talking about Lady Bird and how perfect that movie is, right? And so when she shows up in the film as Agatha, she was just like, "Oh, we were just talking about her. Like she's everywhere that we want her to be." It's so refreshing. And she's already had such a great career, and I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what else she has done. And I mean, talking about people that just pop in, pop out. When when Madam D, shows up, right? My partner was just like, "Is that fucking Tilda Swinton?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah.
She's like,
I had no idea.
"Holy shit!"
Tilda
Because
can
we-
be whoever you want her to be, man.
We're such a Tilda Swinton house that's what we almost named our cat. Like, she is above everything. Like,
yeah.
in Tilda we trust, and like,
Yeah.
so to have this hidden Tilda come in and her to instantly see through it and just like, I know my girl. I know where she is. She's everywhere I need her to be.
Entirely too long to figure out that was Tilda Swinton, but man, was that amazing. And that's some amazing makeup work. And that was another trivia bit. It's 5 hours a day of makeup for however long she was in the movie to do. And it was a thing where Wes Anderson's like, normally I don't have the budget for a lot of stuff, like Michael Bay level budget, but for this, let's just get the most expensive people we can to do her makeup. And it worked because I totally bought it. Yeah, I love Tilda Swinton so much.
Yeah.
And she's fantastic for the short period of time she's in this. But she's another one. Has she ever done anything really not good? Like, I can't think of anything offhand where at least she is always great in whatever she's in, regardless of the movie quality overall.
No, even her Ancient One, right?
Yeah.
Elevates all of the scenes that she's in, man. It's just, she is our favorite actor in our house. So
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
You also had the what is it? The Society of the Crossed Keys when that scene
Yeah.
popped up.
That scene is so good. I forgot how
You mean-
perfect all of it is.
The Hotel Avengers, as I have
Yes.
deemed it.
It's the
You know what's-
Twilight Bark, except hotel concierge.
It's the beacons are lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gondor calls for aid.
Here's the best
The
thing I
ice
read.
machines are running. Gustav calls for aid.
The best part about that, I read there is an actual like society of hotel concierge.
I mean, of
Like,
course
it's a
there
real
is.
thing.
Of course there is.
Maybe not quite to that level, but like
No,
there's
but
a
I mean,
real
it's
thing where
it's
they
like
can,
Ray Fiennes says, right? Like, who gets you tickets to opening night, and who, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's got somebody.
But now
was
that-
also my
Now
favorite.
that we know that, like, and we just had the ballerina, I kind of want to see the Cross Keys John Wick storyline
I do too.
of watching these concierge just
yeah.
aggressively make it happen.
Be perfect. And
It's
it had
it's the lobby boys taking over every time. Because
Mhm.
it's like some of it's
Oh.
like super mundane, like conducting the kids singing happy birthday. But then it's the guy on the tennis court passed out that he's doing CPR to. He's like, take over.
just immediately gets up. It
10-year-old
was-
lobby boy.
But did you notice that anybody who was ever a lobby boy, the left side of their hair was still propped up? Like, even Jason Schwartzman,
Yeah.
his hair was a little
Yep.
propped up on that left side. And
Yeah.
I did notice it until we were about 40 to an hour in. I was just like, oh, these little details that I can now fixate on.
Mhm.
And of all the cameos and small, blink and you miss it moments in this movie of actors, my two favorites are in the Society of Crossed Keys montage.
Mhm.
And that is Bob Balaban,
Bob Balaban.
because I love Bob Balaban.
Too much salt,
And-
not enough pepper.
And then one of the making ofs, he was talking about it. He's like, I just want to stay in that costume all the time. Like, whatever I'm doing, I
It's
just want to
real
wear
good.
that costume. But it was Bob Balaban, and then it was also Fisher Stevens. Fisher Stevens popping up. And I looked because I was like, these are all people that have been in Wes Anderson movies prior to this, except him. This was his first Wes Anderson moment. And he's gone on to be in a bunch since then. But like seeing those two pop up, and this is after we've had Harvey Keitel out of nowhere with just
Mhm.
the most amazing tattoos, like prison
So
tattoos.
good.
But now, since Bob Balaban is part of the Wes Anderson family, I'm still waiting for my Wes Anderson Christopher Guest crossover. I
don't
know
know if the world's ready for
the
that.
world. Fuck the world! Look how terrible it is right now.
We don't have much
I need
time.
this.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, but I mean, but imagine like a Christopher Guest written, mockumentary shot in a Wes Anderson stylization
Here's the thing, though.
with Parker Posey, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? A Christopher Guest script is like 10 pages.
It's true.
It's true.
A Wes Anderson film is written to within an inch of its life.
So then here's what we do. We have a Christopher Guest movie with Wes Anderson like close-up shotaways and transition from scene to scene. I mean, he's done commercials. He can do short form content, right?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But I want it. I'm writing a letter.
Perfect.
Well,
and
I'm
of course,
sorry. I'll get my typewriter out and I'm
Yes.
going
Yeah.
to type
Yeah.
a letter. Yeah,
Get your custom stationery and your wax seal
I will.
and your
Yeah,
air de
you have to.
panache.
Of course.
I
And
know.
I got to get my wax out and my press that has a
Mhm.
PK so that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
All
So they
right.
know.
Good.
but honestly, for as perfect as everyone in this movie is, the unsung, or I don't even want to say unsung, but like Tony Ravoloni as
Mhm.
Zero
Mm-hmm.
is for his first film role. Like he had done some TV stuff before this, and he's real young. But I had only ever seen him in the Spider-Man Home trilogy as Flash Thompson, and I liked him. I actually thought his Flash Thompson was cool because they added a layer to it. He wasn't just a bully. Like they hinted at sort of home life being a little tough, and like there was some emotional depth to him that I, initially wasn't expecting. But him in this as Zero is so damn good throughout. And the way he changes over the course of the story and how he goes from being, because he's very timid at first and unsure of himself. And by the end of it, like he is very sure of himself and grows into being, F. Murray Abraham. But he's so good throughout the whole time. I just loved everything he did. And him and Ralph Fiennes had a fantastic chemistry together, and their friendship,
hands off my Bobby boy.
their friendship was perfect in every way. Like I just
Man.
loved it.
Like I said, the last time I saw this movie was in theaters in 2014. Right? And so I knew there was the lobby boy. I knew he was there. But when we started this movie, I said, "Holy shit, that's Flash." Oh my god. It completely blanked my mind because I don't double screen when I'm watching
Yeah.
anything for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
show, Trav. And like my mind literally leaked out of my ears to see Tony Ravioli, Flash Thompson, right? This character I hated and then kind of liked and then also hated again through the trilogy of Spider-Man.
Mhm.
But just the chops from start to finish, like you said, to see this character go through his entire arc to become the full murderer that he is, was absolutely beautiful. To
so good.
not be able to, do his job as a lobby boy, but then also have the instincts to push Willem Dafoe off of a cliff to
Oh
his
my god,
death.
you got him.
Yeah,
Oh.
which is literally my favorite poem part of all the poems is him giving his last breath, his last will and testament. He just, oh my god, you got him.
Everything.
I missed
everything.
the whole 30 seconds after that because I was laughing so hard.
Funny.
Oh
And
man.
To think that kid was 18 when this movie came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, no, don't
18.
say that. It makes me feel bad about what I've accomplished in my life.
And he just
Uh.
nailed it. Like, and everybody in this is spot on. And I so much of that comes from Wes Anderson and his meticulous planning and the way everything is set up and creating the world as a character and the backgrounds and everything, and the way the shots are all composed and the camera movements are all composed. And it has to make acting in these movies just a joy.
Well, it's kind of no bullshit. This is kind of what Wes does, is he finds these young actors that don't have
Yeah.
any, the filmography behind them, and
Mhm.
gives them the chance to kind of propel themselves, and gives them the freedom to like show what they got, right? There was no Jason Schwartzman. I mean, yeah, there was Phantom Planet, but like before that, there was
Right.
no Jason Schwartzman the actor until there was
Yeah.
Rushmore. And Moonrise Kingdom, we'll talk about that when we get there, but it's also another
Yeah.
movie that has two young actors as the leads carrying the entire film. And it's really kind of dope that every, few films he gives these younger actors the opportunities. The intern from Life Aquatic, right? That was
yeah.
his assistant, right? It was his original production assistant, and then after he brought him in as the intern, I'm sorry, I forget the actor's name, but his life and his acting career blossomed off of that as well. So it's just
Mhm.
it's great to see somebody who has such a finite idea of what he wants, giving these unknown actors an opportunity to kind of show what they got.
And too, like to mix with and work with your Ralph Fiennes and Jeff Goldblum and Willem Dafoe's, right? These established actors who also want to be there. Like Jude Law, one of the interviews I saw with him where he was saying like, yeah, he just pestered Wes Anderson, like, I love your work, and just kept at him until finally he got
Please,
to
have
be in
you
a movie.
seen me? Come on.
Well, that's funny because, like I said, I got the Criterion, and so obviously I'm going to watch the behind the scenes making of this movie. And they interviewed Goldblum, and he's like, "Yeah, no, this is a family. You don't say no.
Yeah.
Everybody that is here wants to be here. Nobody is just taking this because they're trying to pick up a money. Doing a Wes Anderson movie is not only getting brought into the family, but it's also knowing that you're going to experience something on the set that you've never experienced before, and you get to watch this man make art in front of you and be a part of the art that he makes. So whenever
Mhm.
he calls me, I just say yes, because I know it's going to be completely different for each film that he produces. And it's just
Which
like
I can totally see that not being for every actor, right?
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a reason why it's, this stable of actors, which, first of all, it's, like once you have trust with the actor and director, everything works better. But, I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. And so when it's
Uh-huh.
for you, you're going to get the call.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Tilda Swinton even said like she got a call saying, hey, do you want to play a 90-year-old woman or whatever? And she goes, yeah.
She's 85.
Sorry, 85. I liked this little
Upsetting.
tidbit.
I've had older.
I like this little tidbit about the attention to detail, because everything in these movies, every detail is important, and you can scrutinize. And that's one of it's crazy to think of like taking a freeze frame and looking at the newspaper article. And like a lot of times, if you have a newspaper in a movie, you'll have a headline and then just a bunch of garbage text. But like Wes Anderson writes all of the newspaper articles,
Mhm.
so they actually have plot points in them.
Which is, and it's so good in this particular one, right? Because like the main headline in the newspaper is about how war is coming,
Yeah.
right? And you can kind of see that as Zero is making his way back to the hotel, right? So you're like,
Mhm.
oh no. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Nope, not about that
No,
at all.
that's not it at all.
But I did like this little tidbit of, as an example of how important attention to detail was, the graphic designer they had made a prop notebook for Gustav to carry around, right? Because he's always
Yeah.
he's taking his notes and everything. And Ralph Fiennes was like, yeah, but Gustav is so meticulous. He would have lines in his notebook because the original one didn't. And they redid that. And Annie Atkins, who was working on that, stopped mentioning that in interviews because people were taking that as like Ralph Fiennes being a diva on set, demanding having a notebook with lines in it. And it wasn't that at all. It was just like, he's like, no, this would be the prop that he would carry around, and it just
Yeah,
helps.
this is what the character would use.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. They made that perfume, that cologne that he wore,
Mm-hmm.
Air de Panache,
Mm-hmm.
the air of
The
plume.
most perfumed man.
And I love that scene where towards the end when they just
Yep.
smell inside the
Yeah,
train car.
after they've gotten off the train car
Yeah,
before
when
they
he's
get
been
to
in
the station.
prison.
He goes,
Yeah.
"Lady
Oh my
Panache."
god. Oh, so silly. This whole movie is just a silly.
It is
what
like
I
in the
can,
middle of it, we get a prison break out of
well,
nowhere.
I
and
know,
he's
but
in
like
prison.
kind of going back what Amy was saying at the beginning of this episode, it's like if I think, to be honest with you, if I was to show somebody a Wes Anderson movie that doesn't know like the Wes Anderson aesthetic, I'm going to disagree. I really think it's this, right?
Yeah.
Because you have your action, you have your silliness, you have your tight shots, and like my mom doesn't know what a Wes Anderson movie is, but as I was sitting down watching this, I was like, my mom would enjoy the shit out of this movie, right? And would be a nice open door to be like, "Oh, you like this? Well, let me take you 20 leagues under the sea to kill a shark with dynamite." Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he ate your
because
best friend.
oh my god, but like that's why this movie I just think it's like it is his critically and his like artfully it's his best, because you're right, Travis. We went through a heist movie to a prison break movie to a chase movie, all within
It
an hour
starts
and
out
40
with the
minutes.
producers almost.
Almost, right? Yeah.
I mean, the prison break alone, like I love all the stuff in the prison where he's in there and immediately he's like pushing the cart around, giving slop to everybody, and there's just this throwaway
It's
moment
really
with
warm and nutritious this morning.
yep, but it just needs a little salt. But that ends up, benefiting him later. The Harvey Keitel, as I mentioned, was awesome.
So good.
And then when they get out and he meets Zero for the first time, just says, "Good luck, kid," and slaps him for whatever reason. Cracked me up. And then I read they had to do 42 takes of that to get it right. And apparently he slapped him on every take.
No wonder he turned into a bully for the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Harvey
happened.
Keitel bullied him first.
And again, Harvey Keitel using kind of his natural accent.
Yeah.
But
And you're
he's
like,
in prison
why? Why
in
is this
Eastern
man
Europe.
in prison in this tiny place in Europe? Doesn't matter.
Nope, doesn't matter
Doesn't
at all.
matter. None of it matters.
Oh man, but that scene where it's the conveyor belt, right, in the prison, and it's
he can't do it.
it's the bread, and he cuts the shit out of it, and then he takes the ice pick and stabs the cheese, and it's just, these are so pretty, even though they are in the shape of tools.
Of course.
Oh, it's too
loved it.
beautiful. I can't cut into this, and he just passes it through, man. It's a silly
good.
movie.
It really is. And then there's that chase, right? The chase down the mountain. We spend all that time going up the mountain for Gustav to find
Are you
Serge.
Monsieur Gustave of the Grand Budapest Hotel? Such places.
And Serge, played by, I didn't mention Matthew Amalric. Butchering that name, I'm sure. But I had seen him in Quantum of Solace. That's what I
Yes.
think of him from. Dominic
Yes.
Green. Loved him in this for the short period that he's on screen. But they spend all that time getting all the way up there to meet him and wearing the robes and all that. They go into the confessional and it just ends.
Confess.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
I'm
innocent.
innocent.
Oh.
Confess.
Oh, Ken.
And then it's Jopling. And when Jopling goes and puts the skis on and just pops out of that little ski thing
Okay,
and
but-
heads
but-
off, and we
But
get into the
before that,
miniature.
his motorcycle has skis.
Yes. Oh, yes. I took a note about that. I loved the motorcycle with skis.
If I can make one statement, Travis,
Yes.
I really wish that we would have seen Fantastic Mr. Fox first, so that
That's
you could
fair.
see the progression of the stop-go animation from
Mhm.
Life Aquatic with the small little animals
Mhm.
to where we are now with Grand Budapest, and also with the miniature making, because a lot of these miniatures in this movie, they are just gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
And the stop
Oh,
go in this movie
absolutely.
is gorgeous. And
I
so
loved it.
to see where he came from testing the waters with Life Aquatic to his full feature of doing stop go animation and miniatures with Fantastic Mr. Fox, to see where he ended up with the Grand Budapest is like a beautiful thread, because in this movie the miniature work, just the slight going up the mountain with the little cart and all that
Yeah.
is just
Mhm.
it's
Oh,
gorgeous. But you picked 4.
and the way that the animation and the live action stuff was intercut in that chase too is fantastic. Like, just loved
Gorgeous.
all of it.
Yeah.
It was great. The
But also
confessional booth
really
scene, by the way.
funny.
Oh, hilarious! Like, you need to stop. I can barely steer, and then he's immediately like, steering one way and
What are we
steering
gonna
another
do when
way.
we
like-
catch him? You're right. He's a psychopath. We should stop. No, there's no stopping.
Also, that confessional booth scene, they didn't shoot it like together. That was shot 2 separate instances, and Ralph Fiennes almost went back to reshoot his stuff after he saw Matthew in his side of it. He's like, if I'd known he was going to do it that well, like, which I thought was hilarious. But there again, there's that filmmaking. I love like hearing a story about that, because
Yeah.
it feels like they're just sitting on the other side of that confessional booth shooting it on the same day, but it was 2 completely different days. Here's one for you, Amy,
Mhm.
that you will appreciate. So Tilda Swinton, we love. She's
Yeah.
Madam,
Yeah.
Madam D. You know who was originally going to play that role and had to back out because of
Who?
scheduling conflicts?
Who?
Angela Lansbury.
Oh, see, it's not as funny if it's an actual old person, I think. I mean, Angela Lansbury's good.
She was.
She's not. She's not Monsieur Gustave's type.
This is true.
Excuse you.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Everybody
Yeah.
is Monsieur Gustav style.
No, they need to be needy, blonde, insecure, and preferably rich.
I mean, that sounds like a 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
You could dye your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was thinking she wasn't that insecure. She's Angela freaking Lansbury.
You're right. She does have the confidence of
Yeah.
somebody much better than me.
But she was unfortunately doing a stage production of Driving Miss Daisy, and she couldn't do that. But I found that fascinating. Capturing audio of this was a chore, because I basically just had it constantly recording.
All
I
right,
was
so
just like, this is
everybody,
great. This
sit
is
back, relax. We're gonna go through the hour and 90-minute movie,
It was,
and you get to listen to it live. It's gonna be fun.
there was just every line in this movie is amazing, but little things like I loved.
Mr. Zero Mustafa was, at one time, the richest man in Zubrovka.
Zubrovka, which is a great name for a country, and apparently is a Polish alcohol or a Polish drink brand.
Yeah, confirmed.
Okay.
Amazing.
So I loved that. Jude Law, for again the short period of time he's actually in the movie, has some great lines. I loved.
We were a very reserved group, it seemed, and without exception, solitary.
It's just.
I like the part where he's talking about his as a it's basically writer's block, but it's some fancy name, that we were afflicted with at the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a ton of Gustav and a ton of Zero clips. That was the majority of what I ended up with. So do we want Gustav or Zero first? Who do you want? Okay.
Just pick one, man.
Yeah, Steel's
right.
choice. It's your show.
So we got a little of old and young Zero. Amy mentioned this one earlier, but it was too good not to get.
He was, by the way, the most liberally perfumed man I had ever encountered.
It tells you so much about Gustav as a character to know
really
that.
does.
Yeah, but I also can't wait to start using that in public.
Oh, yeah.
When someone comes by with too much Axe on,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or not enough deodorant,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
At
One or
Dragon
the other.
Con,
Mhm.
just reverse that a little bit. Oh, I can't wait.
Well, and the scene in the movie, because it's the voiceover and the flashback, and then immediately it's the couple that got into the elevator after him,
Yeah.
and you just get the sniff. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, it heralded his arrival and lingered after
Yes.
he left.
It's just like me, but for different reasons.
Right after Gustav gets out of jail, and everyone else leaves, and Zero is just,
What else?
Zero, confused.
Zero. Confused indeed. The plot thickens, as they say.
Zero confused.
Mhm.
Zero and Agatha and their little love story. It's so quick, but it's so heartbreaking too. The way it ends is what killed me. Because I will say this: when I said, "Okay, emotional devastation level 4," and Amy's like, "Grand Budapest Hotel, cool, all right," and I am 3/4 of the way through this movie, and I'm thinking, "Where's the like?"
Because the
it's
other Wes
emotional.
Anderson movies, it usually happens like halfway, 2/3, right? Like
Yes.
Life Aquatic, it's the helicopter crash. In Royal Tenenbaums, it's when he slits his wrists. And it's like in the middle to 2/3. And so you're like, get past that point and you're like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
maybe it's not so bad.
this
And
one
then,
really
no.
lets you cook.
It lets you go a long way before it just gut punches you. But I loved this exchange.
On our third formal rendezvous, I had asked for her hand in marriage, and she had agreed.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
I didn't edit that at all. That is exactly how it is in the movie.
So
That
good.
is because sometimes I'll shorten up the clips when there's long pauses. No pause there. They
no
just went
pause.
right through that, and then they just start making out in the theater. Killed me.
Well, yeah, but when you know, you know.
It's true. I only got one of these, but this was a great recurring line.
Don't flirt with her.
Don't flirt with her.
Is he flirting with you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
That whole scene where Gustav is interviewing her,
Yeah.
killed me because
And he bought her
Zero's he bought her the flowers.
The flowers.
4
yeah.
individually wrapped tulips.
And Zero's
Come
just in the
on.
background seething the whole time. Oh,
He's kind
loved
of a
it.
slut. It's okay.
A little more old Zero.
How did you come to buy it, if I may ask? The Grand Budapest.
I didn't.
I just loved it. And then that one I did shorten up because it was them
there's
in
a
the
lot of
bath and he like
splashing.
ducks away and comes back. And then we got random naked guy being hosed down for some reason.
Which
No
was
idea
my
why.
favorite part of the movie.
It's so good.
Happy Pride, y'all.
Happy Pride.
This one's just this was Harvey Keitel.
Good luck, kid.
Slap him and move on.
You can hear it. It's real good.
It's real good.
You know what? That's a good Twitch sound alert.
Yeah.
It is. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm keeping. There's a
For
few of them.
follows, right? If you're
Yep.
like a new follow.
Yep.
Luck
Just
kid.
slap. Good luck, kid.
Then there's a poem, but we might want to go ahead and start in the soup since it's 46 stanzas.
What a great callback to a moment earlier in the movie, right? We get the whole setup in the sermon, and he
Yep.
starts to say his poem, and they immediately start eating. And here they are. He's reading off basically. I loved that. That killed me. Oh.
So good.
And cutting it back and forth with Gustav in prison, was also great. Here was a moment that did start leading me into the emotional devastation, and it was.
I left because of the war.
I see. So you're actually really more of a refugee in that sense?
Truly.
Well, I suppose I better take back everything I just said.
And it's brutal.
It's
it's funny that you didn't put in the 5-minute barrage after he saved him from prison and forgot
His
champagne.
He forgot the perfume and
the perfume. Yeah.
Got the perfume in the disguises because they're already wearing their
the
disguises.
fake beards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just belittling
Oh, it's so brutal.
his lobby boy.
Mm-hmm. But there was a genuine like respect for the lobby boy for the most part from Gustav.
Yeah, that's really like the first time that you're like, that he snaps for real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because he's
Because-
brown, and you're like, oh no, man. Oh no. Reel it in, bud.
And then to get that dropped on him, and he immediately like just pulls both his hamstrings, backing away from what he had said before.
Yep.
I quite liked it. And then finally, one more old Zero.
What happened in the end?
In the end, they shot him. So it all went to me.
Oh, like that's it. That's how
It's
it ended.
not the most visually devastating of Wes Anderson's emotional devastations. We'll get there. But Phil laughs because he knows. But it's just like, oh, okay, that's it. We're not gonna. Nope.
But that's the thing, right? Like it might not be visually devastating, but it hits so hard because all we saw was a build up to it, and then we just get that. Like
I
it's
would say-
almost anticlimactic, but at the same time, it hits harder because we then, like me as a viewer, I'm just piecing that together. Of oh, they just straight like drug him out of the train and shot him right there. Basically,
the
is how I-
design of the not Nazis is
Yes.
so
Oh my God.
good
Oh
because
my
you
God.
never once question it, but there is not a single real Nazi image.
right.
Oh my God, Amy, I'm so glad you brought this up because like the entire time I was like, that's such a smart way to not do spicy lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's the thing that devastates me for this, right? Is that he's already lost both of his parents and probably most of his friends, right?
Yep.
And so he's working up in this new job in a new country in this new place that he's not comfortable or even knows what the fuck he's doing. And he finally gains the respect of quote unquote his employer and they become friends. And not only that, but he probably sees him as a father figure. And then he loses his second father just like that. And you're probably right. They probably right in front of the window pulled him out of the train and executed him to the point where Zero can see him being shot again, just like he probably watched his parents be executed during the war.
In the barley field.
Yeah, and the delivery by F. Murray Abraham in that moment is exactly what it needed to be. Like he, again, another actor who just shows up and also once again telling a story to a writer. I think that's kind of fun little bookending because it's very Amadeus.
Yeah,
But
Amadeus.
Mm-hmm.
rock me, Amadeus.
Amadeus.
I loved his delivery of that. It was so good. Now Ralph Fiennes, fantastic throughout the whole thing. One of the first moments, because the first thing we get is him like being the concierge, right? Directing everybody. Are those brushed? Put them there. Put that over there.
Put the table by the window. Put the tray on the table.
Yeah, all of that.
Goes
Barking
in
up
the
the
second
orders.
truck.
When he sits down with Tilda Swinton and he's talking to her, and we get this moment.
You've nothing to fear. You're always anxious before you travel. I admit you appear to be suffering a more acute attack on this occasion, but truly and honestly, oh dear God, what have you done to your fingernails? This diabolical varnish, the colour is completely wrong.
Oh, really? Don't you like it?
It's not that I don't like it. I am physically repulsed.
Like, just the immediate shift is, it killed
Happy
me.
Pride.
Happy Pride.
So good.
But also when he goes to visit her.
Oh, you mean when
thank God.
when he says this?
I don't know what sort of cream they've put on you down at the morgue, but I want some.
Oh, thank God you fixed your nails. Yeah,
Yes.
you changed it.
Perfect.
And you get a sense that he did care for her, but also maybe not as deeply as she cared for him, because I loved this exchange.
I love you.
I love you.
Abfahren!
Well, I mean, that's his whole.
That's his job.
But that's his thing. Yeah. No,
But that's his thing. I mean, I hate to say it, but Adrian Brody wasn't that wrong about his hatred for Madame Gustave, because even Ed Norton's character was like, oh, tell your mother I said hello. It's just like,
Yep.
how many
Mhm.
how many
Exactly.
moms
How many
and how many
moms?
old moms how many wills are you in, my guy?
Right?
How many wills are you in?
Yeah.
I mean, respect, happy pride. I love you, but like,
I mean,
how
it's
many
the producers,
wills?
right? It's
It's
the
most certainly
It
the
is.
producers.
the parade
Yes,
of old
yeah,
ladies.
yes.
And
For sure.
I didn't
I mean,
I didn't
I'm.
capture it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no. I was just gonna
Well,
say I'm for.
I didn't capture it, but I loved how the introduction of Zero, because we've seen him already a couple of times.
Yeah.
But then Madame D gives this whole thing of light a candle for me, and he immediately calls over the lobby boy, gives him all the instructions.
Okay, well,
of
first
exactly
he's like,
what
I'll
to
see
do.
to it myself.
Yes.
And he's
yes.
like, all right, go get the smallest candle, light it, then go to Mendel's and get me this thing. And if there's money left over, give it to the crippled shoe shine boy.
Right. Like
And
all
then
of
the
that.
shot
then he's-
over to the
Yeah.
crippled
He's
All
doing
of
a
that
great job.
is
And then he's like,
absolutely
God.
perfect.
wait, who are
And
you?
he's like, yeah, wait, who are you? Followed by now is your official interview. He's like, well, wait, what about the candle? Don't worry about that. Like, forget it. It just killed me.
Oh,
But then
God.
after when he gets the newspapers the next day, and he runs up and he knocks on the door, and of course Gustav's in a room with one of the guests.
In flagrante.
Yep. When they decide they're going to leave, I love this.
Attendez-moi, darling. How fast can you pack?
5 minutes.
Do it, and bring a bottle of the Puy Jouvet 26 in an ice bucket with 2 glasses so we don't have to drink the cat piss they serve on the dining car.
Everything Ralph Fiennes did in this movie is just gold. And then they're on the train, and he just looks at him and says,
She was dynamite in the sack, by the way.
to the kid. Well,
you know
yeah,
what? I
so-
believe it.
She was 84. Mr. Gustav.
I've had older.
Oh no. I love it
Ugh.
so much.
We've mentioned this line a couple times, but
Take your hands off my lobby boy!
it's just great. That is great. That's another one I got to keep and use as a
It's
drop
just
for something.
so
I don't know
good.
what. Even the way
We
he
can-
would compliment things, right? Like,
It's a masterpiece. The rest of this shit is worthless junk.
I love it.
it's just.
Uh,
And then he's in prison, right? So he gets arrested, which hilarious moment when the police show up. So they've taken the
Yeah.
painting, right? They've taken it back. They've just put it in their vault, hidden it. And then it's, was it not Ivan? Whoever runs the elevator, like just pokes his head around the corner. He's like, the police are here. And as he's hiding the key, he kind of waits. He goes, tell them I'll be right down. Right. And he comes down and just the whole exchange. And it's all done in a one shot where he's walking up, talking to him. And immediately it's like, oh, she was murdered. We never did get the cause of death. And you think I did it. And then just runs off. It's perfect. Like killed me. I laughed so hard at that. Gets
and
arrested.
takes every step, right? At no point
Yes.
are we climbing
yeah.
stairs 2 at a time.
Yeah.
It does not matter how fast we're running from anyone. We are stepping on every step.
It is how you do it.
So good.
There's a
He's-
proper way to run away,
Yes.
Amy.
I know.
And he's in prison. And I loved this. This is my new favorite way to say you should have seen the other guy. Because
Yes.
Zero shows up and he's got the black eye and all of that. And
What happened, my dear Zero, is I beat the living shit out of a sniveling little runt called Pinky Bandinsky, who had the gall to question my virility.
okay, I get that. But then he follows it up with,
You should take a long look at his ugly mug this morning.
that is the best way to say you should see the other guy I've ever
We're
heard.
actually quite
Perfect.
good friends now.
Yes. Best part about it is they're actually good friends now. And like when he's reading back the note that was dictated to the hotel staff about, make sure you're doing whatever, like I am a hawk watching over you, which I am with a
whip in its
bolt-
talons.
with a whoop in its talons. And
I promise swift and merciless justice will descend upon you.
it's just, I loved it. I loved every word he said. Another happy pride moment, by the way.
We think you're a real straight fellow.
Well, I've never been accused of that before, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. That one really got me.
I will say, I mean, not to harken back to it like 3 or 4 years ago, but that is a line that could be in Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Mhm.
It really could be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when I heard him say it again, I was like, that's a Hedwig line, dude. That is 100% a Hedwig line.
The pastries they got from Mendel's, by the way, those looked fantastic. Really liked every scene where she was making those. But they get the one in the prison, and he opens up the box, and
Who's got the throat slitter?
just the casual way you mentioned that.
You know.
Loved it. The whole prison break is great. Like, they've got to get out, but he even says, like, yeah, we're using the throat slitter. It's going to take like 5 to 6 months or something like that. And it's like, yeah, what we
several
need
of
are
our members,
tools.
several of our number will have been executed.
Yes. So they get their tools, right, and they're chipping away and all that. And they get out. There's the long ass ladder. They're hopping over like other inmates and everybody.
The guards. That's the guard. The guard
Yes,
bunk.
the guard room. Yeah, that's right.
They're climbing up top. Like, there's not that many. Like, it's so good. They're climbing up. They're crawling underneath. They're doing the hoop, hoop, hoop.
All of it. But when they get to that one room and they open up the hatch and it's just a bunch of guards playing cards right underneath there, killed me, because the one dude just hops down, and we get one of my favorite tropes in a movie ever, which is a crazy action sequence is happening and all we're getting is everyone's reactions to it. I love that because it just tickles me. And all we see is the aftermath.
Because the guys are mostly like just chill, and then Rafe finds his face is like,
yeah. And then it ends with, everyone's dead, and you just get,
I suppose you'd call that a draw.
it was like 1 on 5, and then they leave. And they get out, and he gets to, he's out of prison, and the first thing he says is,
I smell.
That's what he cares
climb
about.
Through a sewer.
Yeah.
I would care too. I'm going to be real. If I just climbed through a sewer, that would also be my concern.
But it also says so much about Gustav as a character, because the scent and the smell is so important to him, because he's holding on to what that. Yes.
It's not like he crawled through the sewer line, on his hands and knees for, like a Shawshank.
No.
Oh, no.
He's a dandy, though.
He you know
is.
what? I love him. Leave him alone.
Too. No, he's phenomenal.
No, he's a dandy in the best way possible.
He's fantastic, darling.
Oh, you're right. It's fabulous.
And we played one half of this, but I loved the way because it's so sincere.
I apologize on behalf of the hotel.
It's not your fault, Mr. Gustav. You were just upset I forgot the perfume.
Don't make excuses for me.
It's the don't make excuses for me part of that. But
he apologized on behalf of the hotel.
Yes. But like, the hotel is so much of his identity. And for him to do that, but then immediately, like, don't make excuses for me. Like, the apology is genuine coming from him. And I loved that. That's what I absolutely, like, that hurt a lot. Because then I think shortly after that we get...
Yes, I suppose you're right. Of course, it depends. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to throttle a little swamp rat.
When he's talking about Serge. Because he's immediately like... Also, that's the it depends. Of course it depends.
Of course
exchange.
It depends. Of course it depends.
It was great.
I see what you're saying. It's real who's on first.
It is. There's some very vaudevillian moments in this, and I love them. I also very much like this phrase.
Toot sweet.
So to hear that in a movie is great. Toot sweet.
Toot sweet.
I'm always happy anytime this word is pronounced correctly.
Your loyalty and your services as my personal valet.
My personal valet.
I hate you.
I can't be on this show anymore.
But then we also
valet.
There's not much in the kitchen except a set of ivory-backed hairbrushes and my library of romantic poetry. But when the time comes, these will be yours, along with whatever we haven't already spent on whores and whiskey.
So that's my clip, right? But real quick, in the middle of that clip, I want to talk about the score of this movie.
Mhm.
Oh, so good.
Travis, how did you like the score of this movie?
I loved the score of this movie.
Score
I
of this movie
really,
is
really enjoyed it.
gorgeous.
Mhm.
Score of this movie is gorgeous. The gentleman who did the score of this film also did the score of Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
But if you notice about the music in this movie, there's not the Wes Anderson stylization of like 60s, 70s montage of
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
funness, right? Fantastic Mr. Fox takes those two worlds and mashes them together.
Yep.
So he makes the Fantastic Mr. Fox beautiful score, and then Wes Anderson brings in that 60s, 70s beautifulness to this lovely peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And so I'm not saying pick a number right now, but like I'm excited for you to not only watch that movie, as I brought it up multiple times tonight, but to actually, what I want you to do is sit down with that soundtrack when we finally get to that film and sit with it from cover to cover because it is gorgeous.
I'm all for that because the music in this was great and it felt so perfect for the world that they created, because that's the thing, right? Wes Anderson's always creating these worlds that you then live in, and they're all very Wes Anderson but distinct from each other too. Like the world of
Yeah.
the Royal Tenenbaums is not the world that this movie exists in
Correct.
I mean,
at
like
all.
the Life
but
Aquatic
they are.
soundtrack is all the like keyboard music they put in their low budget
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it is.
And
And
I also adore when the music in a film is incorporated into a scene in a way that also works with like the diegetic sound that's going on. So there's a moment in this when they're going up the mountain on the gondola and it stops partway. I think it's the second "Are You Mr. Gustav of the Grand Budapest Hotel," where they go up and they stop and the gondola is just swinging there, and the way they incorporated. So like it fitting into the rhythm. I
Yeah.
loved that. That was and then it happened again when the other one got there. Absolutely adored it. Yeah, the
I'm
music in
telling
this
you, dude,
was
it's
great.
the music in this is gorgeous, and I'm excited because like I listen to the Fantastic Mr. Fox soundtrack like every fall because when I see that movie and now hear that music, it's a fall thing for me. So like I won't even, I haven't watched the film in a couple of years, but every fall that is on my playlist because it brings those emotions out on me. So
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
yeah.
Couple more Gustav lines because we mentioned this one already, but I had to pause after this happened and recover from it.
Methinks me breathes me lost, me fears, said he. Holy shit, you got him!
Holy shit, he got him!
Oh, it was so good. So good, and came out of nowhere. And then when he gets him, he hauls him up on there and they're standing, and you get the shot across, and there's Edward Norton being like, "Hey, don't move anywhere." But they have
A moment of silence in memoriam of a devoted servant killed violently during the conduct of his duties.
right, and then they stand there for a minute and then get on the motorcycle and drive away.
Yeah.
And a couple other Rafe finds because they were just so expertly delivered. This is him with Madame D.
There's no reason for you to leave us if you'd rather.
Come with me.
To fucking Lutz.
Just the
Let's
derision
not
he
be
uses.
ridiculous.
Yeah. And then on the train too, after they deal the first time they're on the train, when they deal with all of the stuff, and we meet Edward Norton's character for the first time, and he gives them the little like get out of jail free pass card.
You see, there are still faint glimmers of civilization left in this barbaric slaughterhouse that was once known as humanity. Indeed, that's what we provide in our own modest, humble, insignificant... fuck it.
That is the character of Gustav in a nutshell. Like in one line, that is him, and it's perfect. So much of that is just great. I got a couple of Adrian Brody's as well.
Yeah?
Not that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me.
So I didn't get that one, but I got the second half of it.
You are, but you're bisexual.
Happy Pride.
I mean, because that's true, though, right? That's every stupid bro argument online, right?
And it's also like it's so expertly done in the moment because he calls him out on it, and there's a shot of Adrian Brody's character of Dimitri thinking about it for just a quick second, and then coming back with that as his comeback. It's so good.
Yeah.
I also liked when he sees them in the hotel, because when they come back to the hotel later and he sees Agatha and starts chasing her, and then we get like the shootout scene, which is absolutely bonkers because of course everybody's shooting at everything and no one hits
because
a thing.
everyone in that hotel has a gun.
Yeah, because they're all soldiers at that point.
It's the 30s, Amy.
With the not Nazis.
and
yeah,
the not Nazis.
The Nazis.
The Nazis.
But when he comes out of the elevator and he sees them across the way,
I'm gonna blast your candy ass once and for all right now.
That's what I'm saying. He's just.
Happy Pride.
Oh my God! There's got a fanfic.
I also loved when they finally notice the painting is missing, because how long it had been and he hadn't seen it. The painting, by the way,
they put back.
But also the painting they put back.
The painting they put back is amazing.
Happy Pride.
But when he finally notices it, I just love.
What's the meaning of this shit?
That's another one I now have for Twitch drops or soundboard because it's so good. The voicemail or him on the phone with Willem Dafoe.
Talk to the club-footed sister again, and this time, be persuasive.
Was he not persuasive the first time? I don't know.
Not really. He only just talked to her, and she was like, "No, she's from Dune."
She is.
That's what I know her from.
But also the club-footed sister, which feels like an unnecessary detail. But
well, she can't run.
Yeah, fair. And finally, the last two or the last three I've got. That, by the way, that was a scene, I will fully admit, I thought they killed Agatha. Like, they set that up perfectly.
They set it up real good, right?
They set it up real good. And I'm like, no, don't do that to her. And then pull the sister's head out of the box. I was like, that's not better, but at least it wasn't Agatha, I guess. Like, it was a character I didn't care as much about.
You forgot about her. You don't have to lie.
That's true. I won't lie. I did forget about her. Couple more. First, when Edward Norton and they get on the train car, right? Because I love how they're like, oh yeah, we got off on the of the train right before the station, and you get all of them in there, and you just get
Lead to panache.
He knows immediately. That was great, and the scene with Jeff Goldblum when he's reading the will and he's talking to everybody the second time, he's in his own office, because there's when he throws the cat, that sound, but then the reaction.
Did you just throw my cat out the window?
Because it's so good, because he is just standing there just petting this cat.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, no, I'm a lawyer. We need to do this according to the law. And he just chucks the cat out the window.
That is what I'm saying. He's a ghoul. He is not a human. He is a ghoul in this movie.
Right down to his teeth. Like he had that underbite.
That's what I'm saying. He is a ghoul. He will eat like a billy goat. He'll eat loose boots and old tin cans.
Yeah.
He knows
so
one thing: murder good.
I'm looking forward to watching this again, because there's so much of it I'm sure that I didn't even catch this time around in terms of like appreciating all of the visuals of it, because there is this the term I saw for it because I watched a few like video essays about this movie, and the term that I heard was planimetric composition, which is such a Wes Anderson phrase, even though I don't think came up with it, but it's this idea of the planes in his of vision in his framing, right? The backgrounds and how the backgrounds are very meticulous. I just loved all of that, and I really want to go back through and just pay attention to that. Like I want to do a watch through, not even listening to anything, just paying attention to all the backgrounds, because they're fantastic. Everything in this looks gorgeous. Yeah, this was a fun movie to watch. So as emotionally devastating as it is, because the ending of it, like Zero lost his family, comes to this country, gets a job, then he loses that father figure, gets married, loses her and his infant child.
Yeah, I was about to say, gets
in like
married,
a throwaway
has a
line.
child.
Oh,
yeah.
There was that.
And it's so funny. We treat it so easy now, but you know,
it's such a silly heist movie. What could be worse than that?
Well,
y'all see.
I'm curious to see what ends up being a 5 on the emotional devastation scale if this was a 4, because I wasn't prepared for the loss of wife and infant child.
Oh man, I'm excited for you, because 5.
It kills me.
5 might be my number 2 behind Life Aquatic, and 5 challenges Life Aquatic to be my number 1.
I repeat lines from 5 very often. I say the words "Let's make an agreement." An awful lot.
And
I have on occasion had to fast forward. I can't.
Really?
Yeah, it really gets me.
Interesting. We're gonna have to talk without Travis here later.
Yeah.
I've introduced the term "sweet lime" to some people.
Well,
and so,
gang, there's 107 entries on AO3 for Grand Budapest Hotel. I'm just letting everybody know. The top result is a Grand Budapest Hotel X Good Omens AU. I'm just saying Aziraphale would love Monsieur Gustave. And that,
oh my god! Oh
absolutely.
My god! Are you kidding me?
I know.
Oh
100%.
my god! I am so excited to eat an edible and read all of this shit.
Get on
Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride.
I mean,
Happy Pride.
I was anticipating some emotional devastation. It definitely did hit by the end of it, but this was still such a great experience of a movie. I'm finding, much like my kind of going back and watching David Lynch stuff for the first time, like watching these movies for the first time now, the me of maybe 2014, I would have appreciated this to an extent, but the younger version of me that would have watched like Royal Tenenbaums wouldn't have loved it like I do now. This stuff is perfectly up my alley. I get that Wes Anderson is not for everybody. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who was like, I can't stand Wes Anderson movies.
Fuck Audie.
And I get it. I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it because
Audie.
It's
an artist, no less.
Gonna
it wasn't.
Chop the shit out of your face, Audie.
What was not Audie? He might not like.
No. Don't use names. Don't use names. Don't use.
But it wasn't him.
But I'm coming for you, Audie.
But like I get not connecting with it. I understand that. But man, if you like filmmaking, Wes Anderson stuff is just top tier because he doesn't hide the fact that it's a film. Like Rushmore
what Travis
has
is
the whole
saying
thing.
is if you're a true artist, you are respected. If you're a fraud, you don't. Just, he's going on like Gustav. I'm his lobby boy, so I'm just going to get right to the chase.
But no, this was so much fun to watch. Thank you both for continuing to shepherd me through Wes Anderson stuff, and I'm glad that like I'm getting to experience it finally, but also with the two of you, because you have such a connection to it, in not in the same way. That's the best part. Like, you both are very connected to it, but I get to see it, and I also get to experience it with and through your eyes. It's a lot of fun. So this has been a great thing, and I can't wait to continue that. I almost feel like Fantastic Mr. Fox needs to be the next one we do. But I'm not saying that, because I will.
We're shuffling the
decide.
numbers now.
Yeah. Okay.
You get to
You
pick
have
new
a chart.
numbers. No,
Okay.
yeah, we and like I said, I did anything. Amy,
You
has a
agreed with
chart.
my chart.
Oh, the chart was perfect.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We have 1 5, and then we have 2 2s and 3 1s. So there will be like rolling / coin flipping / a conversation to pick.
So yeah, well, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick a number, and then me and Amy are gonna have a 45 to a 2-hour conversation.
We're going to send each other
Back
links
end.
for
Yeah.
expensive things that we shouldn't purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it pre-show, but there is the Society of the Crossed Keys. I'm getting a pin of that.
That's
of
really
some
good.
sort, because I love the idea of the Society of the
Yeah,
Crossed Keys.
and give everybody that PO box that you have, so that they can just get it for you.
I know. I should really at some
So
point.
that's
actually get it to them.
3178 Gettysburg, Pennsylvania 17325, and I will get it to him. So
But
it's like a pen
thank-
pal service.
Yeah. But honestly, thank you both for being my Wes Anderson parents. This is a fun journey to continue on. And this, again, of the 4 now Wes Anderson films that I've seen, it's not my favorite, but it's probably the best one that I've seen. Like, in terms of craft, in terms of filmmaking, there's something about, I think, because like Bill Murray as Steve Zissou and then Gene Hackman as Royal Tenenbaum, there's something in a connection with those characters I really got into. I love this. Again, my favorite Ralph Fiennes performance to date is M. Gustave. But there's just a little bit more on those 2 movies that I like more. But man, in terms of making movies, this is fantastic.
As your Wes Anderson dad, I didn't really listen to anything you fucking said. But I'm just, I'm going through some shit, and it's probably your fault.
Listen, just take him out for some go-karting. It'll be fun.
You know what?
We
I'm
can
just
ride around
happy-
on a garbage truck.
I'm just happy to be here, TV's Tyler, or whatever the fuck your name is.
Listen,
but
you have Italian at 3.
You got
Curling at 4.
You got a cool hat, so like I think you're doing fine, bud. I didn't do anything, so like you look good. I feel great. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, here's the kinks.
Well, Phil, what have you got going on right now that you can direct people to? What's something that's coming up? Because I know Bach just ended a season.
Botch just ended. We just finished our SCP season. Ours truly television's Tyler was on that last episode. He got to make judgment on our characters. He did play like the O5 Council. If you're into SCP, he played the judge, jury, and executioner. So that will be coming out sometime in September. Switch 2 just came out. I'm a Nintendo streamer, so check me out on twitch.tv/imaginary nomad. And then we're always playing horror games on Sunday nights, not whenever I'm not here doing Trevor's show. So check that out. And then if you end up going to Dragon Con, we do have a couple panels with Steven from H&H and Travis here. It's called Blood Feud. It's a Family Feud style trivia game that has some hard stakes. So check us out. And then Botched, a D&D podcast, is premiering season 10 live at Dragon Con. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to play maybe live music at the panel, so it's going to be scary. So check that out all over the internet. But I can't go anywhere without my ex-wife, Ashley, Emily, whatever her name is, as a co-parent that really doesn't understand how to co-parent. She does most of the work, and she'll probably do great, I hope. If not, I'll probably give her money.
He'll be fine. He's doing great.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Guys, don't worry about me.
Just finish that bottle. There you go.
Oh, Lord.
Amy,
God,
what
I
have
made
you
a
got
third.
going on?
Aquilo season 8 premieres June 26th. We're coming back, baby. We're in act 3 of this story, gang. So buckle up. I hear it's about to get intense. They tell me. I'm very excited. No, so you can catch up on everything that we've already done, aquilo.com or wherever you get your podcasts, ACHEWILLOW. The book finished its first go through of professional editing, so that's very exciting. We will have a date to announce soon for when that's actually coming out. So that's all. It's all a lot, gang. And that's what I do.
Awesome. Aquillow.com, Botched Podcast. Check those out. If you like this show, I do record it every Sunday night without fail. I've missed 1 week in 6 years now because I have a problem.
That was the 1 week everybody showed up.
That's the
Right?
that's the result of having Wes Anderson parents.
Yeah.
You simply cannot fail.
Yeah.
I can't. But I do this every night or every week, Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time, twitch.tv/tvstravis. You can go to tvstravis.com, find the show, find all the stuff I'm doing. This show, Those Were the Days, the new one, 24 FPS Presents, where Steven and I have gone through the Fast and Furious franchise. That's been a lot of fun. There's also links to my dumb merch with my logo on it. If you buy that, send me a picture. I love getting those. I've gotten a couple of them, and it always just fills my heart with joy to see my logo on a thing. I had a friend of mine just last week who's like, "Hey, we're in Grand Haven, we're representing," and he was wearing a bucket hat with my logo on it, and it just made me smile. And there's also the Patreon there. If you can support the show that way, patreon.com/WYHS lets me do things like Dragon Con, which I'm going back to in apparently 80 days because shit. That's way sooner than I thought, but Patreon helps me to do that.
77 since this comes out on Wednesday.
That's true. Yep. 77 days from now. And Patreon helps me to do things like that and do the show live. And I want to do more live remote ones. I'll be at Nerdtacular 26 next year doing the show. I was in Vegas a couple of months back, and I'll be at Dragon Con again. So if you can, patreon.com/WYHS. You also get things like my First Watch Diaries, which I will be continuing and finishing up Ahsoka. And then I'll move on to a new series. So definitely check that out. And next week, I've got Tim from the Horse Girls podcast.
God
back.
fucking damn it.
We're going to watch.
No, I don't care. Don't tell him. I hate that guy. Tim, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Tim.
Well,
I remember his name. He's my mortal enemy. How dare you? And Franklin, whatever your goddamn name is. Fuck your outro. I hate you, Tim. I'm going to find you one day, Tim. Ruin you.
And we're going to watch The Accountant because it got a sequel, and I didn't ever see the first movie. So we're going to watch the first one, which will be a lot of fun. That's coming up next week. Until then, Phil, as angry as you are, thank you for being here.
The pleasure was all yours.
Amy, thank you for being here as well.
You're welcome.
And until next time, just remember to enjoy your movies. And despite what Phil says, be excellent to each other.
Except you, Tim. Fuck you, Tim. I'm coming for you. I'll find you, Tim. I know where you live. This is me coming up to your door, Tim. I'm kicking it in.
Very good. I'm going to stop you there because the alarm has sounded, but remember where we left off because I insist you finish later.
I loved that so much.
Oh my God. I love that you're having Tim on next.